Venus and Adonis by William Shakespeare. Facts, summary, and analysis. Hello and welcome to the discourse. Today we will begin discussing the verses of William Shakespeare. Shakespeare wrote 2 long narrative poems and 154 sonnets. While we will discuss all the 3 works, let us begin with Venus and Adonis, his first long narrative poem. Shakespeare wrote Venus and Adonis in the year 1593 during the period of lockdown of London theatres because of the bubonic plague of Elizabethan era. He dedicated this poem to his major patron Henry Wriothesley, the 3rd Earl of Southampton, and suggested that Henry Wriothesley is the first heir of my invention. Henry Wriothesley was a known patron of authors and dramatists. Thomas Nash dedicated his picaresque novel The Unfortunate Traveller to Henry Wriothesley too. Venus and Adonis is written in sestet, that is, in stanzas of 6 lines in iambic pentameter. The poem contains 199 stanzas and 199 into 6, that is 1194 lines in total. Sources. The major source of Venus and Adonis by Shakespeare is a short tale mentioned in Ovid's Metamorphoses, which was a narrative poem by Ovid. The tale of Venus and Adonis is mentioned in the book 10 of Metamorphoses. Earlier, Christopher Marlowe also wrote a long narrative poem, Hero and Leander, which was based on Ovid's Metamorphoses. But the story of Hero and Leander is different from that of Venus and Adonis. We will discuss Hero and Leander too. Despite the fact that Marlowe's unfinished poem also contained characters of Venus and Adonis. Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis was printed in quarto pamphlet form in 1593, while Marlowe's Hero and Leander was completed by George Chapman, who wrote the ending of the poem, and was published in 1598, 5 years after the publication of Venus and Adonis. However, Shakespeare knew about Marlowe's poem and he did mention Hero and Leander in his play As You Like It. Themes of Venus and Adonis. The major theme is naturalism and nudism. While Shakespeare's poem is based on Ovid's story of Venus and Adonis from Metamorphoses, the 2 poems differ hugely. In Ovid's poem, Venus accompanies Adonis, who goes to hunting, while Venus is not interested in the wild game. Ovid depicted Venus as a well-dressed woman, worrying of her complexion that may get ruined in the strong sunlight in wild, and who hates wild animals. On the other hand, Shakespeare introduced Venus as a nature lover who visits the jungle to see Adonis while she is naked. She is not interested in hunting but only wants to offer her body to Adonis to make love with him. Another theme is animal love. While Ovid's Venus hated wild animals, Shakespeare's Venus adored them and maybe reflects Shakespeare's own feelings towards animals. At the end of the poem, Venus reflects that Adonis was killed by the wild boar accidentally, as the wild boar was enamored by Adonis's irresistible attraction and, like herself, wanted to kiss this handsome man. But when the wild boar tried to show his love for Adonis by kissing him, it gored his chest. So in Shakespeare's poem, Adonis is killed while the wild boar tries to show its affection towards this beautiful hunter. Shakespeare also depicted Adonis's horse attracted towards a wild mare. As Venus tries to seduce Adonis, his horse tries to seduce that wild mare, and then the horse makes love with the mare. Again, when Adonis's hound attacks a seemingly unprotected hare, Venus complains that he only hunts harmless animals like hare. Venus tries to persuade Adonis to give up hunting and make love with her. Summary of Venus and Adonis. Adonis is the most beautiful mortal being in the world. However, he is unaware of his charm and he is not a lover or a womanizer. Rather, he continues to enjoy his time in hunting the wild animals. One day Venus, the goddess of love, sees this extremely beautiful mortal while roaming on the earth. She feels extremely enamored by him and decides to go to him and confess her desire to love him. Venus herself is the beauty personified. She visits Adonis in natural state with all her beauty clearly visible and offered to Adonis. Adonis is, on the other hand, is getting ready for his next hunt in the wild jungle. He completely ignores Venus, who demands only a kiss from him. As Adonis gets on his stallion, Venus forces him to get down off his horse, and then she lies beside him on the ground and starts expressing her love for him. She demands a kiss, but Adonis tells her to leave him alone so he may go to hunt a wild boar. As he tries to get on his stallion again, his horse sees a wild mare and is extremely attracted towards the she-horse. He pursues the wild mare. Initially, just like Adonis, the wild mare ignores Adonis's horse, but then the mare gives up its guard down, and the two horses in love gallop away in the wilderness. Taking advantage of the situation, Venus again tries to gain Adonis's attraction. But Adonis again ignores her, which breaks Venus's heart, and she faints as she is in too much love with him. As Venus faints, Adonis feels that she died because of him, and he gets worried. He picks her up and lays her down on the ground with care and caresses her hair and chin. As he feels guilt and mercy, he kisses the lips of Venus. Feeling his kiss, Venus revives, and she then begs for another kiss. Adonis reluctantly offers her another kiss, and then he breaks. Venus asks him to meet her again. Adonis rejects her appeal and tells her that he cannot meet her as he is going far away to hunt a wild boar. Venus realizes that despite the great beauty Adonis has, he lacks any romantic bone in his body. But she abysmally fell in love with this mortal man. As she hears that he plans to kill a wild boar, she gets a premonition that if he tries to do so, he will be killed by the wild boar. Venus tries to persuade him to give up hunting. Adonis then is irritated and he chides Venus and tells her that it is not love that she feels for him, but it is just her lust, because she cannot love him as she doesn't even know him. He says that she cannot know him because he himself doesn't know who he is well yet. He admonishes her love and lust and goes away from the grip of her arms. Venus is hurt by his words and she cries while worrying about her premonition. The next morning, Venus is worried about safety of Adonis. She goes to the wild to search for him. As she hears the sound of dogs and other hunters, she thinks it is the party of Adonis and she goes in the same direction. However, before reaching there, she observes a body of severely injured dog lying down on the ground. She realizes that it is the dog of Adonis. As she looks furthermore, she finds the dead body of Adonis laying a little away from the dog. The wild boar killed the hunter. She is very sad and tries to see back what happened with Adonis and laments that the wild boar was too much enamored by the beautiful hunter and wanted to kiss him, just like she was going mad just to get a kiss from Adonis. But as the wild boar tried to kiss Adonis and expressed his love, it hurt Adonis and killed him. Venus realizes that despite her being the goddess of love, she never experienced the loss of love, and it is the first time she experienced the loss and pain of love. She decrees that from now on, love will be attached with suspicion, sadness, pain, and fear. The last part of the poem depicts the dead body of Adonis, which has grown pale. The flowers around Adonis's body have turned white and purple, resembling his flesh and blood. With a heavy heart and full of grief, Venus leaves the earth and returns to the heavens on her winged chariot. Marlowe's Hero and Leander was also based on Ovid's Metamorphoses, which depicts the story of Hero, a devotee and priestess of Venus. So this was all about Venus and Adonis, the first long narrative poem of William Shakespeare. We will discuss the second narrative poem, Rape of Lucrece, and the sonnets of Shakespeare in our next video. Please stay connected with the discourse. Thanks and regards.